Unsure what you need to do for maintenance? If your garage door needs to be maintenance, stick around as we get into that in the question of the day. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat. Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the Hot List. I come to you on Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with recent price reductions or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. And to find out how you get your question answered on air and on the show, all you got to do is hang out with me till the end. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. If you're interested in what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and support the Hot List, all you got to do is hang out with me for a few and I will get that information over. So, thank you guys so much for joining me, tuning me in, whether you are watching live on the replay, if you're listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, wherever. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to share this out. Leave me a review wherever you're listening to this. Helps other people find the podcast and get their real estate questions answered. The property we are talking about today is a newly listed property. The address is 3607 West 20th Avenue, right here in Emporia. It's a 5-bed, 3-bath house. It's got 3,021 square feet of finished space. Currently listed for 308,000, 308 900,000, courtesy of Eck Real Estate. So this property is in a northwest location. It's actually in the Deerbrook addition, which is one of the newer additions that have been built and subdivisions that have been built within the last few years. It's a ranch style house. It's close to elementary school, the middle school, as well as the high school, a number of different stores, shops, as well as restaurants. It's got a nice open floor plan and the flooring on the main level is actually hickory flooring. So that's very cool as well. Does have a fireplace in there that is gas, so a little bit easier cleanup and maintenance with gas versus wood. In the primary bedroom that's on the main level, you've got your own access to the deck right off of there, and it's got a full finished basement with an additional 2 bedrooms, bathroom, walkout basement down there, and a second kitchen. So that is very, very cool as well. So all you got to do is click on the link in the description. That's going to take you right to my website so you can see the property for yourself and take a look at it. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them for you. If you are a pre-approved buyer, not currently working with another agent, I would love the opportunity to answer some questions and schedule a showing for you. Before I get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is C. Allen Doors. They are located right here in the Emporia area. Address is 419 Merchant Street. You can call them directly, 620-341-9801, and they are open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. They do maintenance on doors, they repair doors, replace doors. Make sure you check out their Facebook page as well. I included a link in the description that'll take you to their Facebook page. You can see some of the before and after pictures that they've done. Recently, they just got in a couple different styles of garage door openers in stock, so they have those available if you're needing to replace your opener. They are a great place to start as well. They also have in stock they have garage door springs that will fit most residential sizes. So they've got those in stock. No need to order them or track them down somewhere. All you got to do is call them. And if you are interested in becoming a sponsor of the week and supporting the Hot List, all you got to do is shoot me a message or drop me a comment Wherever you're listening to this, we'll have a little bit further conversation to see if you're qualified and interested in still being a sponsor of the week and moving forward with the hot list. This brings us to our question of the day. The question of the day, as you guys know, is my favorite part of the show. I get to help educate not just you, but myself in a lot of these situations as well. Because if there's a question that's asked I don't have an answer to, there is some research and legwork involved on my part. So not only am I helping you, a lot of these, I'm also helping myself as well. So, question of the day: is regular maintenance required on my garage door? I think that's an excellent question, especially this time of year as the weather gets a little colder. Now, for most of us, we pull into our garage, pull out of our garage probably hundreds of times each and every year. And you don't really think about it because your door goes up, your door goes down, and this actually can be pretty taxing on the door day after day, month after month, year after year, especially if it's neglected for months at a time. You may start to hear or even see some irregularities with sounds or issues as time goes on. So, for example, if the door sounds more like a train going over some tracks with the clack, 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 if it starts to make that sound, you may have let it go a little bit too far and need to have something done. Fortunately, garage doors are pretty foolproof. They are designed for people like me, and they tend to tolerate a little bit more neglect than other parts of your home would. I do recommend regular maintenance or inspections at least once a year, if not twice a year. Now, we talked earlier this week, a couple episodes ago, about the garage door being more than just a door. We all know that there's moving parts, and some of the parts that we need to learn, recognize, or maintain are going to be parts like the opener. We all know what that is. It's the big box in the center of the garage, designed to move the door up and down. Usually, it is driven by a chain, a belt, or a screwdriver. There's also springs and cables. If you need to lift it manually, it's going to feel a lot lighter because of those springs. They're high tension springs, so it just takes a lot of that weight off. And then the sensors, we all know, are located at the bottom. They look like tiny cameras, and this causes the reverse opening if something crosses in its path. If you can't remember the last time that you did anything to or for your garage door opener, now would be a good time to change that and start. So what we're going to discuss today are going to be 5 things to know when it comes to taking care of your garage door. Number 1, tighten all the screws and bolts. Sounds kind of funny and sounds a little obvious, but once you start hearing a rattling sound, now part of that sound is going to be just the ambient noise that comes from the garage door, because it vibrates as it moves up and down. This can loosen some bolts or screws as it keeps going up and down after months, maybe years. I would recommend starting at the bottom of the door and working your way up. Tighten all the fasteners, replace anything that is missing or broken, and while you're doing this, also check the hinges in between the door panels. Make sure those are tight as well, so your door panels stay together as well. Number 2, pull the manual garage door release. Just FYI, do this while your garage door is closed. I'm just saying. If you don't know what it is, it's the pull handle thingy that comes down from the opener. That's the technical term, pull handle thingy. And once you pull down on that, it unlocks it, and you want to check the balance of the garage door by opening it up halfway. If it's balanced, it should stay halfway up where you left it, and you're good to go. If it doesn't, if it starts to come back down, then you need to call in a professional, simply because rebalancing can be difficult and sometimes dangerous depending on the age of the door as well as the springs. Also, just a side note: once you're done, push the door all the way open and re-engage the opener path so it lines up where it should be. Number 3 on the list is your check safety reversal system. What you do is grab just a scrap 2x4 or something similar size and place it directly in the path of your garage door. Now you need to make sure that whatever you grab does not break the beam sensors at the bottom of the garage door, because what you're doing is testing a different portion of the garage door right now. If the door stops once contact is made with the 2x4, for example, then your safety reversal system is set up properly. Nothing else is needed. Now, if it doesn't reverse and open back up once it makes contact, you need to find the owner's manual, go online to Google and type in the make, model number, locate the knob or button on your opener. This is used to decrease the force required to stop the door. Usually with this, you'll have to test way more often than you'll have to adjust. Number 4, break the beam. What you want to do with this is check the indicator lights on the infrared sensor, looking cameras at the bottom of your garage door. These eyes should line up with each other, and just make sure they're adjusted properly. Once they match up or line up, close the garage door before it reaches the ground. You want to grab a broom or a 2x4 and push it in between the sensors. The door should stop and reverse. If it doesn't stop, then you need to first try cleaning those lenses. If it still doesn't do it, you may end up needing to replace them. And finally, number 5, grease the squeaky wheels. So you've tightened up all the hardware, you've tested the door's safety feature. Now it's time to grab a beer and kick back. Well, almost anyways. Since you've done all this, there's one last item that needs to be done to your garage door to maintenance it, and that is lubricate the door and the rollers. There's actually fewer parts to lubricate than you think. Most of this is actually going to involve more cleaning than lubricating. Once you're done, your door should run much smoother than before, and really that's the ultimate goal. You want to start with the track itself. I would recommend cleaning the track with either carburetor cleaner or brake cleaner, and then just a rag or a cloth. When you go to lubricate it, you want to use a silicone-based lubricant. And you're going to spray between the pin and the wheel on each roller, wiping off any excess that spills over, because that silicone lubricant, you only want it on the roller itself, not on the track. If you have a roller that is nylon, you especially need to be careful with these, because these are going to slip easier, especially if you get silicone on that track. Since you've got that silicone spray, you also want to lube up the torsion springs on it. You can use the same lubricant as you did with the rollers. Just watch out for any drips from the overhead and clean off the track wherever you spray it at. So that's it. Those are 5 need to knows when taking care of garage door. Number 1, tightening all the screws and bolts. Just start from the bottom, work your way up, tighten anything or replace anything that might be missing. Number 2, pull the garage door, manual garage door release. Again, do this when the door is closed and you're just checking the balance of it. Number 3 is the safety reversal system. What you're doing with this, you're not checking the sensors, you're checking the reversal system as well. So if you grab a 2x4, lay it underneath what would be the path of the infrared sensors. When that door hits it, it should go back up. Number 4, breaking the beam. Here is where you're checking the infrared sensors themselves. So as you're closing the door, just pass something through there like a 2x4 or a broom, and it should open back up. And number 5, greasing the squeaky wheels. Since you've tested everything, everything's back to where it should be. You want to lubricate the rollers themselves so they keep opening and working properly, not shaking loose or have any type of rattle. Use a carburetor cleaner or brake cleaner, clean off the track, and just use the silicone spray on the rollers themselves only. Nowhere else. So that's going to do it. That is going to wrap it up for me with the hot list. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to be the real estate resource that you start with and get your questions answered. So until tomorrow, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you tomorrow.